thought she turned into a ghost for a second there.
Okay. Okay, going live. All right. The year is 463 in pursuit of the Anunnaki. Aldale and the Wineworn Kingdom have been waging a vicious war as the Aldale army has marched across Rhineworn's land in an effort to take the capital of Eiselhofen. Upon reaching Eiselhofen, the armies of Aldale dug in and laid siege to the city. After 42 hard-fought days, the capital city surrendered to Aldale's forces, giving them the hard-fought victory they searched for. You each find yourselves at different parts of the war encampment, with those in your respected platoon. After the previous night's celebration, your superior officers hand each of you a rolled up parchment with the brigadier's seal on it, and they tell you that you have received new orders. The parchment reads, "Soldiers, through your valiant efforts, this siege has become Aldale's victory. Though Eiselhofen has been taken, your duties to the crown are not yet finished. Report to the brigadier's tent for food, wine, and to receive your new orders. Captain Tolani Singrove." After receiving the letter, each of you have made your way to the brigadier's tent. Standing outside, you see a very large square-shaped tent. Outside the door, there are 4 guards posted. They seem relaxed and talk amongst themselves. With an average height slim woman with shoulder-length red hair stands in front of these 4 guards. She gives them a sharp glance, and they all stand back at attention. So you guys are standing in front of the brigadier's tent. Let me move you over there. Of course, I put everybody really far away. So everybody but Tyler, I should say, or Lucifer, is standing outside the brigadier's tent. You see the woman then approaches you guys. She greets every one of you. "Hello, I am Captain Tolani Singrove. It is a pleasure to finally meet you all."
G'day.
Your microphone's off.
Sorry, I said I just give a bow.
Okay. Please, step inside.
I do so.
Alright. Actually, wrong thing.
Trying not to hit my head on the roof of the tent. Because I'm tall.
As you guys are walking in, do you want to give descriptions of each one of your characters? I'll have you hold off there, Lucifer. Yeah, you just keep looking mad. Why don't we start with Godric? Godric, what does your character look like?
Godric is a burly hill dwarf. He has pretty crazy hair as far as the mane goes, and a nice bushy beard, of course. He wears his hair in 2 long, thick braids down his back. He has doesn't really wear any armor. He's just wearing kind of some fur clothing with a large bear pelt as his cloak. And underneath the cloak you can see pretty savage scars from animal attacks over the years. Yeah, that's Godric.
Alright, let's go with Vayu.
Sorry.
Oh, you were just taking a bite. How about Sky?
Sorry.
Okay. So Sky is a half elf, and she's about she's pretty short, average height, slender. She has long black hair and dark green eyes, fair complexion. She's kind of she tries to lay low, but she also has attitude and sass because she wants things to be about her at the same time. Yeah, that's all I really know.
Okay. Let's go back to Vayu.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so Vayu is a Loxodon, of course. She's over 6 feet tall, 6'8". She's a 3-fingered elephant person with really large ears, but small tusks. She has kind, light brown eyes and a strong trunk. She has tattoos running down her left arm, like she's got short sleeves so you can see her arms. She's got like swimming koi fish and rivers on the left arm, and on the right she's got like lilies and lotus blossoms on the vine. She's got kind of the typical monk raiment of like the sleeveless tunic, with a sash, and then some loose-fitting pants. She does not wear shoes. She has small golden hoops, earrings piercing her ears, and she's got cloth wrappings on her forearms. And so right now she's just kind of standing back and very reserved and keeping to herself.
All right. Trudy?
Can I just use the thing that I sent in Discord?
We'll describe it.
Okay, she's average height, about, I don't know, 5'5", human, dark hair, like black hair, shaved on one side, off to the other side. Just
Man or woman, sorry.
woman.
Okay.
Yeah, oh gosh.
I thought that would show his hair for a second. It's a fucking blanket.
Yeah, it's just a blanket.
I was like, damn, her hair got really long.
And she does have very long hair.
But I mean, like past her knees.
Oh my god.
No, not that long.
Look at Colt.
I know, I was watching him.
I'm gonna try not to distract us with that, I'm sorry.
Just swinging. That's
just
great.
Slowly whisper, "Get it, girl," so we can hear you.
Make sure he knows that's going on YouTube.
I'm not saying shit. He can't hear me, so it's great.
Let's wait for Sam. Yep. And the dog. Come on, dog. Go away. There we go. Alright. You guys enter the tent.
Jesus.
Just like that.
That's
He hits
okay.
the tent just like that.
I tried to hit the mute. I'm sorry.
You're good. You enter the tent and you see in the center of this big open space there is a table set with food, wine, cups, chairs around the table for enough for you guys plus 3. Godric, you see standing off to the side, and go ahead and describe your character there, Lucifer.
Damn it, I thought I was gonna be across the border.
No, not yet. No, you ended your session here.
You see what you can really just classify as an adventurer, just like the makeshift of gear, kind of nothing is like a matching set. It's all for a purpose, for his armor and stuff like that. You see the symbol of the kingdom, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see a symbol of the kingdom kind of carved into his armor and kind of like worked into that. It's clearly seen that it wasn't originally there. You kind of notice he's got these kind of the sides of his head are shaved, but he has very long hair kind of at the top, and they're in these big braids, and he has these kind of like at the ends, kind of where you would have like a ponytail where you'd have just kind of the leftover hair just kind of poking out. They're kind of these little hook-shaped things, and he is pretty mangled. He has a really jagged scar kind of going up his mouth, and he's got a couple piercings that look like almost makeshift stitches. Kind of looks like it's almost holding it together. He has got another scar that kind of goes across his nose, up and kind of through his eye a little bit, and into his eyebrow, and then kind of partly into his hairline.
Jesus.
And then he just kind of coyly smiles, and then you kind of see his eyes, and they're just this really like brown amber. And he just says, "Hello, how are we doing?"
And as you guys enter the room, you see this man standing off to the side. You also see standing behind a desk at the other end of the room a lean, balding man who is wearing his scale mail, and he has a bastard sword on his hip. He's leaning over looking at some papers. He looks up. "Good. The rest of you have arrived. It's a pleasure to finally meet you in person. Please, take a seat. Lucifer, you as well."
He just kind of nods and stands over by a chair, but doesn't really sit, not like in a defiant way, but just kind of nods that he would prefer to stand, but he'll go where designated.
Okay.
I grab the closest chair and sit down.
All right.
I kind
I'll go
of
sit next to this guy.
I walk over to the table and I look at this chair. How sturdy does this chair look?
It's pretty sturdy. It's
Is it 300 pounds sturdy?
Yes. Knowing that he was going to have a Loxodon here, he made sure to have the proper equipment for you.
I look at it, appreciate it, so I take the seat.
He walks up and sticks out a hand and ushers Taline to sit. And she also sits at the table. He finally sits down. "I'm glad that you all received your orders. Please enjoy the food and the wine on me. I just want to commend everybody here. It takes may take an army to do what we did, but it takes individuals such as yourself to secure our victories. So thank you all. Now please enjoy the food. While we eat, I have other matters to discuss with you guys."
I'd fucking start digging in.
I want to look at the food. What kind of food? Do they got vegetarian options?
It's a platter of meats and vegetables and fruits with cheese and bread. So it's a quite a display. It's
Okay.
quite a lot of food here.
As soon as I spot the fruit, I like kind of lose my decorum for a moment, and I like swipe up like a big bunch of it in my trunk, and then I kind of catch myself, and I'm still holding it, but then I just start I eat a little bit at a time using my hands.
Lucifer kind of chuckles at that and says, "Nah, take your fill. Please. Less fruit for me."
So a little bit casual eating, kind of looking at everyone else.
I did pretty much the same thing, but I ripped off the leg of the turkey or whatever was on the on there, and I'm just ripping into that. I take some of the wine and pour it into my own tankard before downing some of that till it spills down my beard.
I side-eye all of this, and then just get a glass of water and...
Yeah, I also look around for water instead of wine.
There is water at the table.
Okay.
Wine.
Actually,
Do we-
I'll take some watered down wine. I'll kind of do some.
If there's a tankard, I'll fill that with wine.
It is good to have some fresh fruit after eating all of these dry rations for so long. It is hard to feel satiated.
True,
Whoops, that wasn't supposed to go there, but that's fine.
it works.
That's me. No.
That's me.
So that just happened. No one saw that. Redact that, please.
Lucifer kind of takes a piece of bread, kind of opens it, and starts peeling off some of the turkey meat or kind of whatever bird
fowl.
it is.
There's there is a fowl there.
And just kind of starts making a little sandwich and kind of mixing everything together. Essentially, that's on the table, and just kind of makes a big hero sandwich, kind of ready to go.
Nice.
Okay.
But he doesn't partake in any wine.
No wine for Lucifer. Everybody else is kind of partaking in some form of wine.
Yeah, trying not to go ham, but yeah.
Not
a little
Trudy.
wine, mostly water. Trying
Not
not to
Trudy?
drink
Okay.
everything
No,
on the
just water.
table.
Is it good wine?
It is very good wine.
I'm fucking just going ham.
Just going in, just drinking it up. Okay, while you guys are doing that,
Call it good.
you're gonna finish that. Okay. You see Captain Talani. She doesn't take any wine. She doesn't take any food. She takes very small sips of the water. She seems very rigid, sitting there. The Brigadier picks up a glass, pours himself some wine, takes a long drink, and looks at you guys. We received orders that there is a peculiar item the king would like. It is located within the city, within the Anaki Temple. Your mission is to enter Eiselhofen and enter the temple and find this amulet.
Any specific reason why, or does it do anything?
Yeah.
The king just requested that we find this amulet. At this point, if you want to know more, you may make a persuasion check.
Yeah, let's do it. Before we get to the right spot here.
I forget. Does everyone follow Anaki beside the elves, or is it just the Loxodon? I can't remember.
It's the whole continent besides the
Okay.
elves follow the Anaki religion.
Okay, just making sure.
Sorry, my thing's like loading. I had my character sheet up, but then it like closed out.
Just so everybody knows, eventually, if you guys need to refresh, I changed the profile picture. So Lucifer is sitting down there. Or you can,
Okay.
I don't know if you guys can see my character sheet. I can only see mine, but it's also in the bio in that.
And you said perception, right?
No, persuasion.
Persuasion, my bad. Here we go.
Persuasion? Yeah. As of right now, the purpose of it is unknown. Or not, no, not unknown. It is not for you to know. The king has requested that we receive this item, or retrieve this item, and I were to put a group together. I have chose you for all your valiant efforts that you have shown in this battle.
Are we likely to face resistance in getting this item, or are they going to hand it over peacefully?
Well, resistance you may find. Though we have taken the city, and it is under our control, there is still some people, some residents, that do not like our presence. We have already had a rash of attacks from militia groups within, so the city is not completely safe. I recommend, once entering, staying to the main streets, making sure that you see fellow soldiers within eyesight. No back alleys, storefronts, houses. I'd be careful where you tread.
Sounds fun.
No?
Yeah. Sounds exciting.
It can be, but we'll see. Hopefully not. As for the temple itself, I don't know if you will find resistance. To be honest, from what we understand, the priests within the temple don't even know of this amulet's existence.
Gotcha.
But there is a salter within the city who you will meet with.
A salter?
A salter is an infiltrator, a spy.
Oh, okay.
This is something you would know being in the military after and seeing everything.
Okay.
Where is his name? The salter's name is Rodgol. And he is located in the open air market near the temple. Meet with him there. He will be able to give you the information that he's received on this item.
What was that name again?
Rodgel.
I should get some note cards like Ryan.
I had my
Right, and, like,
notebook, but I think I left it on the D&D table.
Okay, yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab a note that I have to.
Okay.
I'll have to grab a notebook tomorrow while we're out at Costco, John.
Okay.
Except for I don't know if Costco just sells a notebook. I'll probably have to buy like 50.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
What's the church of what?
The Church of the Anaki, or the Temple of the Anaki.
How do you spell
What
that?
is he doing?
Anuki.
Anuki.
It's like Anakin Skywalker.
He's-
Noodle.
There's that ANA. Anyway.
I'm gonna have to copy someone's notes.
Okay. I mean, we could just have. Well, I
Cost
was
10
gonna say,
bucks.
we could have a shared Google Doc. Then, if we're all editing it, then it might get really messy.
It would get messy very fast, I think.
Yeah.
Unless you like had highlight, like you guys had your own colored text.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even that might get confusing.
Yeah. Or I mean, I could always just like, if somebody takes notes, we could just like share it with other people so they can look at it.
Yeah.
Just make sure if you're
Cross-check
taking
some-
private notes, don't leak them.
Yep.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No shit. And we'll see.
Is there any questions you have on these orders?
Seems pretty straightforward.
Kind of shrugs and says, "Well, are we ready to go then?"
I'm drinking as I stand up.
The Brigadier stands up, as you do, Godric, to be polite. He then says, you are to meet with the Quartermaster Yaren. From there, he will give you the pack, your equipment for this quest. Please meet Talani here at the entrance to the camp in an hour. That should give you plenty of time to meet with Yaren to go to your tents and grab your own respective personal items, if needed. So please, if you guys want some more food, you may take what you will, eat your fill, take another glass of wine. This is a feast for you. And with that, he turns and he goes back to his desk. You guys can speak to him still.
Thank you.
I grab the other haunch of the other leg haunch. Starting to do that too. And I'm ready. I'm heading out.
Yeah. I'm gonna
fill
grab if
the
there's any.
flask that I have on my side with some more wine.
I think. Well, I'm gonna swing by and grab my sword and stuff, and
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab if there's any like whole fruit or anything that looks like it'll keep for a couple days. I'm gonna kind of gather that up with me and kind of put it in my bag on my hip. Don't want to waste it.
Lucifer?
He's gonna slowly kind of mosey around, looking around the table as they're kind of grabbing stuff, and he's kind of waiting until the rest of the people exit the tent, and he's going to look to talk with the commander.
Okay. Has everybody exited the tent?
Yeah, I'm gonna head
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I'll go to the quartermaster or whatever.
All
oh,
right.
do we have to have the? I turn around and ask if we have to have this done in like a certain time, or is this like?
We're
Like-
meeting with someone, the one chick, in an hour.
No, I meant like.
The whole
Retrieval.
quest.
The amulet.
Yeah.
With the way this matter is, not really knowing the location, not really knowing where it's at, knowing it's in the temple, but it is hidden.
Okay.
There hasn't been a time frame given, but if I do not hear back from you guys within 2 days, 3 days, we'll go with 3 days. If I have not heard back from you guys within 3 days, I will assume you are either dead or deserted.
Okay.
So even if you see a soldier outside and ask them to send a message to me, that message will be received.
Okay.
Good to know.
Oakley dokley.
Let's do this.
Alright, so you guys exit the tent. Lucifer, you stay back. Is this a conversation you want to have privately, or is it okay to just...
This one's okay.
Okay.
Kind of leans into the table. So, the amulet,
Yes.
is it something that we should be worried about? Or, like, I know we can expect danger, but how much?
Make
What are we
me
fighting?
make me a persuasion check. Like I said, I don't know if you'll be facing any danger receiving this amulet. As far as we know, there is nothing dangerous about this amulet.
But what are the local areas?
Like I said,
Here? 20 feet down the road?
what's that? One more
Is
time.
it around here, or is it 20 feet down the road? Like what kind of area is this temple in?
The temple is located, so the city is large. It is surrounded by 2 rivers that come together and form one river. The temple is at the crotch of the 2 rivers.
Okay.
Within the city.
Within the city.
It's within the
So
city.
Are we meant to be stealthy, or however we want to do it?
Retrieve the amulet. There shouldn't be any reason why you will run into any problems as long as you stay into the main streets like I suggested. If you do run into problems, you see fit to take care of it how you wish.
Alright.
If they attack soldiers of Aldale, they're attacking soldiers of the Crown, which is against the law and is punishable by death.
Get out of my dice box.
Damn my dice, dog.
Well, duly noted. Just wanted confirmation on what kind of mission we were going on
Now,
when he proceeds to.
before you go, Lucifer, just remember, it is punishable by death to attack and assault a member of the army.
I imagine the same goes to you now that I'm part of the army.
I guess it does now.
Ooh, burn.
Don't forget it. And he gives him a little wink, and
And the brigadier,
as he steps out, he kind of clicks his heels together and
just gives you a half smile on that and just kind of nods. Okay, would anybody like to RP them going to their tents, grabbing their stuff, going to the quarter? You guys gonna? Would you like to do that?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, are Loxodon very common in the army?
No, they are not. They
Well, that's definitely going to be a topic of conversation.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I have my tent kind of a ways off from the rest of people, and it's like way bigger than everyone else's, just out of necessity. So it feels kind of ostentatious. Yeah. My
Yeah,
bedroll is like 3 times bigger than yours, probably.
definitely since he's a hill dwarf and you're a Loxodon.
Exactly.
Not that short.
How tall
5'2".
is your character, Ryan?
I'm 5'2".
Okay. I'm only 5'4", so.
I'm only a little shorter than this lass. I'm a lot shorter than you, of course, but
Did you say 5'2"?
hi.
Isn't that really tall for a dwarf?
No, dwarfs aren't that short.
Oh.
they're kind of portrayed like that in like Lord of the Rings and kind of some media, but they're not.
I don't know. I haven't looked it up.
I'm tall for a dwarf, that's true. Hill dwarf though, I'm not shoved up in those mountains like all those cousins of mine. Get to stretch and reach for the sun. Yoga, try it, it's great.
I do. I often practice flexibility exercises at the monastery. I will keep that in mind. So yeah. So
And just so you two gals know, Sam and Tabitha, your characters haven't seen each other for quite a few years.
Yeah.
That's something to remember.
Yeah, that's why we're awkwardly doing our own thing.
Who are
They're
you?
both like, oh god, jeez.
Gossip. But
I'm trying
I'd like-
to just, avoid the confrontation from everyone
Okay.
because of my history.
Mysterious.
I imagine that Lucifer is not one to leave his gear lying about. He's just kind of more or less kind of moseying just straight to the blacksmith and just trying to gauge how fast they're gonna move out.
yeah.
All right.
Just
yeah,
gonna grab what I need and head over to the master. Just
Yeah.
to avoid confrontation.
All right. Seems like you all are kind of going about the same, grabbing stuff, heading to the quartermaster. I'll say that you all kind of get there about the same time again. You see in this makeshift hut where a lot of items are kept. There's just one single door with a glass pane. You got to hit /whisper /whisper space GM before you message me, just so you know.
What is it?
Slash
/W. Sorry, /W space GM.
Oh, there it is. Thanks for that.
You're welcome.
And then you just type after that.
Yeah, then you just type after that.
You can always do a test run before you.
Test.
Yep,
Yay.
there you go. That worked.
Okay.
So, you see in this shop window a dwarf with a long beard that is braided with several brass rings throughout his beard. He sees you guys approaching and he kind of claps his hands and smiles and rubs them together. Oh, it's good, finally. Somebody decided to come visit me.
Good
Why?
to see you, cousin.
Ah, it's been a while since I've seen a dwarf. You from the mountains out there?
Yeah.
Ah, that's good.
Is he actually your cousin?
All dwarves are cousins.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Just, just because he's a hill dwarf doesn't mean he's not part of my blood. You know, just the way it is.
I hear that. Alright.
So what are you guys coming here for?
Setting off on our quest.
Oh, quest, huh?
Just getting what we need, huh?
Well, I've got orders to give you a military bag. Standard issue. Everybody receives it.
Perfect.
How many of you are here now? Wow, lassie, you're quite big up there. As he's looking up at you, Vayu.
I just kind of
Pat him on the head
nod
with
politely
your
and I don't say anything.
You don't gotta point it out there. I mean, come on, we can all see it.
I just don't think I ever seen a Loxodon up here this close before.
I think you're just kind of making a little awkward, man.
I kind of I smile a little bit and I kind of bow and go feast your eyes. Then I kind of straighten up a little bit taller, so I'm like, "Are we inside the shop now?"
No, you're standing outside. It's
Oh, we're outside. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The shop window is outside, so there's a whole bunch of stuff behind him
Okay.
that's all locked up, and you guys are
Okay.
standing outside this hut while he's in there.
Gotcha. Yeah, as he says that, I kind of straighten up a little bit taller, and I even like fan my ears out a little bit, so I look a little bit bigger.
Oh, you can block out the sun with those ears. All right, how many packs we need? 1, 2, 3, 4. And he kind of lingers at you, there, Sky. 5. Right. All right. I'll get back there and I'll get you your packs. And he gives each one of you a military. Where is it at? A military pack. It's. Did you get it already? Yeah, good job there.
Oh, look at that! Cool.
You're welcome. Multitasking.
Thank you so much for that. So that's. Can you what?
I was gonna say, like, you can't exactly copy and paste that straight onto the inventory or equipment on the thing, can you?
No.
No, you'll have to make it in there.
Okay, that's fine. If nothing else, I'll copy paste it onto my notepad.
The
later.
thing where it says standard issue,
Mhm.
50 pounds. I think that's total. If I
Yeah,
remember
it is
that
total,
correctly.
and then I broke
Yeah.
down what each one of those weighs.
Yeah.
Okay. Word.
Oh, roll 20 broke on me.
Ri-
Give me 1 second while I reload the... Oh, and it just decided to load up right when I did it.
So where do you put in the weight of things or whatever?
So when you are editing, do you remember how to edit? Kind of that little gear icon.
Okay, yeah.
You click that, and then there is a weight kind of next to this little per use thing, kind of to the
Okay.
right of it. The weight should be blank, so it's kind of hard to find it a little bit, but once you kind of click into it, you should see the little horizontal or vertical line kind of flashing.
I feel like I'm lost. Hold on.
The good thing there's this.
There we go.
Flap, flap.
Blap.
And then you click this little gear, and it's right there.
Okay.
Make it bigger so I can see.
Alright, while this loads, the dwarf comes back, bringing a pack out at a time, sets them up on the counter. Alright, here you go. Got your items here. You guys heading into the city, right?
Aye.
Yes, indeed.
Good. Well, I hear it's very dangerous in here, right? Oh, wow, that went wrong. Wrong voice.
Roll with it.
I can't...
God.
It's beautiful.
I hear that the city's very dangerous right now, so I want you guys to be aware of that.
Do we remember what the city's called?
Eiselhofen.
Eiselhofen. Okay, so it's the city that we just took over.
Yeah, it's the city we just took over. You guys are in a war encampment that's across the river from the city, because the city is basically on an island. So it's on the outside of the outside of that. On the
Yeah.
other side, there is a bridge that was made to cross over into it. But yeah, so that's where you guys are currently located.
Do we know if we're on foot or if we're taking horses?
You'll be on foot, of course.
Just double check.
Yeah, no problem. Well, I guess that's it, guys, huh?
Nods.
Have fun, enjoy. You know, if you get bored, you can come back and talk to me.
Sorry.
Oh, sounds lovely. I
Please.
will
I will-
do.
I will have to give you a more opportunity to gaze upon my largeness.
Oh, someone's vain. Okay. Okay. You guys head to... Would you guys like to go from here?
Yeah, let's start heading to Eiselhofen.
Yeah.
Alright, as you guys make your way through the camp, you can see it's about noon right now. There are still soldiers who seem to be just waking up, kind of shaking off the cobwebs from the previous night's celebration. You see soldiers mixing around. Actually, let me change the music. Going about business, fixing gear, equipment, checking on each other. You see a group of whites walking from tent to tent, making sure that no one needs healing. Whites are the healers, the Red Cross version in this army. You just see the normal day-to-day business of this warring camp going on as the threat of this battle has been kind of put down now. There's not as much tension in the air. You make your way across the camp, and eventually you get to the edge, where you see Tolani standing waiting for you guys. As you approach, there you go. As you approach, you say good day, and she smiles and nods. I've got a letter here. You are to give this to the guards outside the city and upon the bridge leading to the city. This will gain you access, because right now the city is closed. No one in, no one out. Only upon orders from the brigadier may this happen.
Do we keep the letter after giving it to the gods? Or...
Yes, because that'll ensure that you will be able to leave the city.
Aye.
You are to present it with them, take it with you. Do not lose the letter, or you will neither gain entrance or exit from the city.
Lucifer kind of turns around. Who's feeling mighty responsible? Because it ain't me.
Just here to get the job done.
What was
I hold out a three-fingered hand for it. No one else wants it.
Yeah, she can take it.
Sky, what'd you say there?
Oh, I just said I just want to get this done. I'm just here to finish the job.
Alright. And I hand it to Miss Loxodon and give her a small little curtsy as I turn around.
Alright. So
She
I'll
kind of
take it.
stiffens up from your curtsy there, Lucifer. Just follow the path, and it'll lead you down to the city. Please, if you run into any trouble, if you're going to take longer than the 3 days the Brigadier has given you, send some sort of message, so that way we know.
Aye, sounds good.
Alright. And with that, I'm going back to my other duties. Good luck to you, adventurers. Or not adventurers. Good luck to you, soldiers. I'm going to have to get used to that. And she walks off. Are you guys heading on through?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You make your way through the path. There's very thick forests surrounding everywhere. Except for the island itself is pretty clear of trees. There's some trees here and there, but not nearly as dense as what is around you.
Damn it, I want to condense. Stop that.
As you continue along, you eventually come to a bridge that has a barricade and several soldiers stationed outside. The soldiers look really lax. They look almost bored as you approach.
Hey, good day.
Sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
On the way, was it a long or like a semi-long walk, or
It
was
was,
it pretty quick?
it was a pretty quick walk. It
Okay.
was about 5-10 minute walk. It's nothing too bad.
Okay, yeah, then I'll. Good day.
So what are you guys doing here?
Just kind of motion to the Loxodon.
Oh. Yeah, and I draw the thing forth and I hand it to the guard. We have orders to enter the city.
He takes it, kind of opens it, looks at you. Oh, it's got Brigadier's signature right there, huh? You guys on some sort of special thing?
That's what
Special
I
thing.
And I
Yep.
extend my hand out to take the letter back.
Well, hold on. I gotta inspect it and make sure it's not forged or anything. Yeah, I know it looks fine. Here you go.
Thank you. And I took it safely back in my tunic.
You're right. No, so what you guys up to?
Some things and some stuff, man. Some things and some stuff.
What kind of things and some stuff?
We'll let you know when we know.
Convince me to tell you.
Well, I don't know if I want to do that. I'm not that bored. Right, if you guys want to get through, just come on through. It's hoping for a little fun, that's all.
Now these guards,
It
are
would
they
have
on
been
our
fun.
side?
Oh yeah, this is part of the Aldel
Okay,
military.
That's what I thought. As we walk by, I want to say, is there anything we can do to blend in more with the locals? I mean, besides myself being Loxodon, but maybe to not make it not so apparent that we're enemy soldiers in the city.
Well, first off, I wouldn't have came walking in with the military garb that you're wearing. All, standard issue armor and weapons and things of that nature would probably get you noticed right away. Well, except for you there, which is really odd. Why aren't you wearing military issued armor?
Just kind of point to the symbol. I'm a special case.
You're the special case. You're one of them.
I'm
huh?
also definitely not wearing armor.
Neither am I.
Right, but you would still be wearing like a military issued garb of
Something.
something,
Clothing thing.
or even like a something that would indicate that you're part of the
cloak.
guild. Yeah,
I just
cloak.
have a tapestry draped over me because I'm so large.
Like an actual flag. Just-
Yes.
Just
Wrap
capes.
myself in a flag.
So that would have been the first thing I would have told you not to do. Other than that, there's not much else you guys are going to be able to do. You're going to stick out like a sore thumb. Especially that one there. And he points right at Sky. That might get you into some trouble.
Alright, what's going on over here, Sky?
Yeah, Sky.
What's up?
Well, actually, this is something everybody would know. Actually, no, never mind. Yeah,
Well,
no,
then
I'll
what
let
the
this.
fuck don't I know it?
I'll let Sky explain this if she wants. If you guys haven't noticed.
Have we
So
actually
you're
done
just
our,
implying
our-
about the half elf thing, or
Yeah. He's
Okay, yeah,
pointing at
just-
your
just-
ears.
so I'm just gonna try and cover my ears with my hood from my cloak and
Oh, I
try
gotcha.
to blend in my best.
Let's go.
I'm going to turn to the god and I'll look at him and say, I don't like your tone. These are my new friends.
Oh, is it
Understand
now?
that you're trying to be helpful,
Hey, let's
but I'm not
not.
afraid to break your toes.
Break my toes. That's the
let's
most
not
written.
start a scene 30 seconds into our adventures. Come on. Come on, let's go. We've got a thing to do.
Yes, why don't you just pass on through?
Hey, you yab over there, you be quiet too.
Can I see if I can do like an intimidation check, kind of?
Of course. Yeah,
Hey, Roo.
you can do an intimidation check if you would like. You've got some serious lag going on there, Tyler. I'm gonna.
15.
Okay, well, I'm gonna move us to central. Maybe that'll fix his lag. You do not intimidate him. He does not look intimidated by your presence. He just kind of smiles and shakes his head. Just pass on through. I'm done talking to you.
I'm gonna start moving away from the gate then, yeah. Take a couple steps inside.
Actually, this is the bridge. So you're crossing the bridge over to the island.
As we're walking in,
What was that,
I
Tabitha?
imagine the Loxodon was leading first
Okay.
because she said she walked in first.
Well,
I'm
I'm gonna try and
walking away
catch up
from
to
this
Lucifer and whisper quietly to you. Are we still friends?
I cast a message, and I look at her, and I'm like, I knew you, but I couldn't remember why.
Oh, well, that's good.
You know, my jail cell was pretty comfy. Why don't we talk about this later?
Okay. Oh, I'm okay with that.
Minotaur.
Minotaur. So
It's a
the
Minotaur.
message ends, and then I kind of turn to her and kind of do like one of these, like, I'm very disgruntled, but we got a job to do.
Sorry for
and so-
forgetting that.
So we, as we're leaving past the guard, I'm going to again cast message and be like, I hope your job isn't dependent on the fucking Brigadier. What's his name again?
Brigadier? Brigadier?
Brigadier.
Yeah, the Brigadier
Brigadier.
Faulkner.
Yeah. I hope your job isn't dependent on the Brigadier. 'Cause me and him are pretty close. Don't worry.
Some threats starting right off the bat.
No, just some casual fun play.
Okay. That's what you call it?
Yeah.
What are you guys
Okay.
doing while this conversation's going on?
No,
Well,
that's
it's-
message. That's
Yep.
directly
Well, no,
to his
it is.
brain.
It is. No, I agree. I'm just.
But-
This is obviously taking a little bit of time as you guys are
Right.
walking. Just
I know. I'm walking backwards, just pointing at him, going like this.
I'm just crossing the bridge. How long is this bridge?
It's not very long. You've already crossed the bridge. You're starting to
Okay.
approach the city at this point.
Oh, okay.
You see, as you approach the city, tall, 30-foot walls that have been. They're in ruin. There are sections of the wall that have collapsed and fallen down, but the gate is still held pretty tight. You can see soldiers at every hole in the wall, very much centered there, building new barricades.
Okay.
As you approach the city, there seems to be a different tone or a different look to the guards that are stationed there. They seem to be a lot more tense, keeping an eye out of what's around them. And with that, we'll stop and take a break as we get to the gates of Eiselhofen.
Okay.
All right.
At least I can hear you.
That's true. That's true. Okay. So yeah, you guys approach the gates to Eiselhofen, and like I said, the guards seem a little bit more on edge, a little bit more alert, keeping an eye out as you approach. Halt! This city is currently closed. What business do you have here?
I
We have
step
a note.
forward. Yeah, I step forward again. We have orders from the Brigadier himself.
Let me see.
And I hand him the thingy.
Takes the paper, looks over it.
I whisper over to everyone. These guys are taking their jobs real seriously, aren't they? Oh, come on.
I look over at you, corner of my eye, and I kind of nod a little bit.
They,
What
you
was
see the
What was the Brigadier's name again, real quick?
Faulkner.
It's like Faulkner.
Like the gym leader. Oh, come on.
You see the guard with the paper walk over to another guard. They talk amongst themselves. He approaches. Okay, everything seems in order here. Fair warning, when you enter here, there is a large crowd of people wanting to exit the city. The tension is high here.
What
And?
are you doing to control the situation?
The best that we can. We have several guards posted on the inside trying to talk to the crowd. Calm them down.
At that point, I pull out Shah, my instrument of illusions, and I begin to start trying to play like a calm melody and say, "Well, let's see if this calms the roaring crowds."
Make me a performance check.
+6, my asshole.
Right?
If you think that's going to control this crowd, then you're sorely underestimating the situation. There is a large group.
At least he's putting in an effort.
Right.
You don't think we are?
Nobody's still
Nobody.
trying something.
I'm trying something that you aren't currently,
Yeah.
but needless
So
to
why-
say, we're entering.
You know what?
Why is-
If you wish to try this, go ahead. Help us out. These people are very upset they can't leave.
Okay. If you're gonna do that, I'm gonna pull a little small wooden box out of my bag, and I'm gonna light like a little cone of incense. It's like super strong and calming. I'm gonna like waft that over the crowd.
Well, you haven't got inside yet
Lavender.
to get to the crowd. You're still on
Well,
the
then go.
outside. He,
Copy paste. I do the thing once it's relevant.
okay. If you guys are ready to enter, I'll take you in through the door over here. Please, follow me. Stick close.
I take back the
Um,
paper if I haven't already.
Give us back the paper. With the instrument.
Hands it back to you.
With the illusions, I'd like to kind of just create like kind of just like like almost like happy memory, kind of like vague happy memories, like kids playing, you know, mother holding a baby, you know, generic things like that.
So you're playing that as you're entering Eiselhofen. As you guys enter Eiselhofen, he wasn't lying. This is a very large crowd of people. There are literally looks to be about 100 people, all screaming and yelling, demanding to be let out of the city. You see a large guard around the gates and around the gatehouses with their shields up, trying to calm the crowd. You see one man standing behind that his voice seems to be projecting out louder than should be humanly possible. And he's shouting, "If you guys want to leave the city, we first need to find the Reichsfuhrer. No one has found him yet. That is why none of you can leave. You have to understand that. He needs to be in our custody before I can let any one of you out." The crowd seems to grow even more uneased with this statement. A lot more shouting begins to happen.
Well, I'm trying to get the fuck out of the crowd.
Well, you guys kind of like on the outskirts, so you can kind of zoom around if you wish. Okay.
I don't give a
I'm gonna
fuck about
follow,
any of them.
I'm gonna follow Vayu since she's big enough to push
Yeah,
her way
I part in
through
the crowd,
nobody-
basically.
She's like hitting people with her incense block, like out of the way, out of the way, be calm, be
No.
calm.
But while we're in the city, we're gonna use the Vayu's token as a single token.
Okay.
So you guys kind of skirt around on the outskirts, and you see the architecture in the city is a mixture of houses made from plaster and stone with wood trim. Very German-style house, white plaster, dark wood trim. The stone around the base of it. The streets, this seems to be more of what was once a residential area, but several houses have been burnt or smashed and collapsed in. As you guys get around the crowd of people, none of which the crowd seems to take note of you. They're more focused on what's
Wanting to leave.
wanting to leave. Yes. You can still hear the man shouting in the distance as you guys make your way through the city. So you have entered the city now. What would you guys like to do? At this point, none of you would have been actually been to the open air market during this confrontation.
Yeah.
Does anyone know the way there?
Actually, can I do a perception check using my sense of smell? Can I smell out the market?
You can go. You can sure try.
Yeah. So I think because I am Loxodon, I has advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I see advantage, and that's sniff, sniff. It's
Smell
either gonna smell really
lantage?
good like food, or it's gonna smell fucking gross like fish or something. Why?
Fish smells great.
Okay.
There you go. Perception. There's too many scents in the air right now between the smell of burning houses, the smell of almost like a musty mildew too from houses collapsing in, and whatever was smells were trapped in there wafting into the air. You also do get smells of death and decay. There is sweet smells of freshly grown grain of that nature, but no smell that would indicate this large open market that was you were told to meet at.
Okay.
I'm going to move to the nearest person.
All right, you see an older woman sitting outside of her house. It seems that her house, though damaged, isn't as badly damaged as some of the other houses that are on this street front. She's sitting
There, there, Sheila.
Yeah, yes, what do you want?
Could I trouble you with some directions to the market?
You want the market? Don't you soldiers know where the market is? You put my city to ruin.
That wasn't me.
That's what they all say. Wasn't me. Wasn't me. If you want the market, you just follow this road here, and then you'll find it. It's on the other end of the city.
Thanks, Sheila.
Right. Thank you.
Can I do an insight check?
Of course, yeah, you can do an insight check.
Make sure she's not fucking with us, sending us to the stockyard or something. Shit.
Yep, nope. She sounds like she's telling the truth. You kind of believe her. You're like, yeah, okay, it's just this way.
This is great, yeah.
Seems legit.
Lucifer kind of notions party. Why do we need the market?
To meet with our contact, so he
Ah.
can give us information about the temple.
The contact.
You really don't listen there, do you?
I was
Always asking so many questions.
As we're walking along, I find myself, I keep like looking back at the angry crowd of people. Who is it they said they needed to find?
Sphera. Mayor or whatever.
Oh.
You guys would know that the Reichsfuhrer is the ruler of the Wineworm Empire. His name is... You would know him as Reichsfuhrer Wineworm.
Okay. Wormy.
What he said. Alright, let's head to the market. Hope for that. I mean, old lady wasn't yelling at us and lying, and if she was, oh well, who gives a fuck? We'll find out eventually.
Yeah, that's true. Alright. So, yeah. So, what road did she point towards? Did she point, like, straight to the northwest?
She pointed on the road that you guys are on. Yeah, she pointed...
Okay.
She pointed towards... This,
Okay.
this road here, this direction.
Okay. Let's keep our guards up.
Even though you guys can
Those
see the whole
facts.
map, but yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
it's...
still.
She pointed down that way.
Okay. Oh, yeah, do we still have, like, didn't you say we came in with, like, what's the word, like an entourage of guards or something?
You came in with a single guard who let you into the city, and as
Oh,
soon
okay.
as you guys... As soon as the door opened and all of you guys got through, he slammed the door shut and you heard the lock.
Okay.
There wasn't a brief... There was a very brief moment that there was no...
Okay.
That the thing was open. The door was
Okay.
open.
Just wondering if there were still, like, other guards or someone with us. Okay.
No, there's no other guards with you, but you do see walking on the street groups of soldiers in threes. Just kind
Okay.
of patrolling up and down the street.
Okay. Well, let us go onward then.
So
As
I think
you-
as long as we stick to the main roads, we'll be good.
Let us hope.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
That's-
what Faulkner said.
As you guys continue down this path, this is about a 15-minute long walk to get to the other end of town, or the other end of the city. And as you guys walk through, the houses kind of, on one side of the street, kind of slowly, they go away. There's a cliff face, and then around the cliff face, it kind of curves back, as you can see on the map, and there is fields set up with grain and grapes growing. It seems the field has been unspoiled by the war, or by the siege.
Well,
Well,
the
that's
farmer
lucky.
should be happy.
Inside the city? That's unusual, isn't it?
I imagine so. Usually they're on the outside or to the outskirts.
And as you guys pass the building that's by all these, you see that there are several storehouses set up, and what appears to be a market sitting there, and then a house sitting there. There's just a single market stand that's selling grapes and bread.
Is that it?
That's it. That's all it's selling.
Is there anyone around?
There's somebody stationed there that's selling the grapes and everything.
No, like, is this the market?
No.
No,
No,
it's a
this is
single
just
stand.
one market. stand.
Yeah, this is just one market stand.
One vendor.
Just one guy that's selling.
Okay.
And as you guys kind of passed by this house, you see the road that's curving up to your right. And you hear the sounds of heavy footsteps. And you hear the sounds of whips and then chains, as in a row of people walking in chains. You see coming down the path a large group of orcs, bound and chained together, flanked on the outside with another group of orcs who are heavily armed, walking these chained group down this path towards you. The group of chained orcs are being whipped, being flogged as they proceed through the streets. You see at the front, the very first orc that's chained has an eye patch on. He looks old. He's got gray hair. The usual gray or green skin of these orcs, he seems to have dulled in color. His age is very showing. He's got many battle scars. But he holds his head up high as he's bound, and every whiplash that hits him, he doesn't flinch and he doesn't move. They pass by you guys. Do you move out of the way as they approach?
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, kind of hesitantly, but I'm watching closely. Like,
No, I'm gonna knock them all over to the ground. Yes, I'm move out of the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move out of the way, but I'm gonna cast message to the old orc and ask his name.
There is no response from this orc. They move past you. They get to in front of the fields. You hear one orc command, "Halt!" And all the orcs halt. They walk to the front. Actually, the question is, are you guys going to sit here and watch this, or are you going to proceed on?
yeah, I'm stopping and watching. I'm kind of transfixed by this. I don't
Are
think I should
orcs
see
inherently evil in this world?
No,
or-
orcs are not. Orcs are... In this world, especially you, Lucifer, would know this, that orcs are not how they're normally depicted. They are very honor-bound. They fight in armies to fight in battle and to die in battle, or to be victorious. That's the lifestyle they choose. They are not evil. Usually when you're on a road between cities and towns, they patrol the roads to keep them safe. They're not for any other reason than to stop thieves and murderers from attacking civilians or unguarded people. They're very driven by honor and what it means to fight, and to die gloriously in battle, or to be victorious. That's their whole purpose.
Can I make it like an assumption kind of thing? Like, does this look like an execution taking place, or?
You can make that assumption, yes. You guys, none of you would have seen this type of display before. This has been a long time since a display of this has happened. If you would like to, you can make a history check to see if you would know what's going on, any one of you.
Can multiple of us make them?
Yeah, everybody can make one on this.
Godric hasn't stopped.
Godric keeps going forward. Sky! You know this as a victory march, where the orcs who fought in the losing army are bound, chained, tortured, and then walked through the streets. Those orcs who flinched or wavered in their constitution with these tortures, this torturing and flogging, are put to the knife and slain in the street for all those around to see.
Jesus.
Those who stand strong are given a choice to either fight for the new army, to die, or in the case of older orcs, be sent off to wait for their last challenge.
Their last what?
Their last challenge.
Oh, okay.
So you said it was a display of what in the beginning?
It's a display of victory.
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
And this is something, with that role, you would know that this is something that happens during a war when one army wins over the other one. This is allowed to happen. This is part of the orcs' culture, so that all the other armies, everybody
like
is
super unusual. It's something they do.
Well, it's something that is unusual because it's been a long time since a battle like this has taken place. So it's been decades since this display has happened. So it is unusual because of that, but at the same time, it's part of their heritage.
Okay.
It's not like unprecedented.
Yeah.
Are you gonna share your knowledge with us?
Yes, of course. So
'Cause I'm sitting over here like, the fuck is going on?
I'll turn to you guys and just kind of explain that it's their show of victory from winning the war or the battle or whatever. It's just, and yeah. So you guys have the heads up on it now.
And with that, I'm going to cast one last quick message and to the old orc, and I just kind of stay strong, old orc, stay strong, and then I continue walking.
I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. You guys keep pressing forward. Eventually, you do get to the open air market, and I forgot to give you guys Rodgul's description, but Trudy would have, or not Trudy, sorry. Talani would have given you the description. He is a red-haired man with a large brass cuff on his left hand. He has long red hair and a ponytail, and that would have been the description she would have given you guys. So you guys reach this large open market. Normally you would think this market would be busy and bustling with people in and out, you know, shopkeepers busy, but it's very dead. Half the shops aren't even opened.
Sorry, Cole in the background is
I know,
getting me.
I know, it's
In
hilarious.
the background, I'm just like, get
I
it,
know,
Cole,
I just
get
keep
it.
seeing like shadows and then like hands.
God damn it.
I kind of
You're
turned the
welcome.
party. Do we want to split up and find him, or are we just going to group up and plow through the crowd?
I believe given the condition in the city, it would be unwise to separate at the moment.
Well,
I
it's
agree.
not that busy, so I
Together.
think we should be okay staying together.
I say at least just don't leave the market.
Yeah.
Well,
Stay in earshot?
reconvene. Roughly. How about this? Are we at the market?
Yeah, you guys are at the market now. You would be.
Let's say in 20 minutes. If we don't find him, we'll meet up by the fire pits there.
Yeah, you'd be here.
Okay.
Well, could I see the fire pits?
Yeah, you'll be able to see the fire pits. They're very very large. It's kind of the center of that area. Well, not the center, but that's kind of like one of the big meeting points in this area. So you guys split up to look for this guy?
Yeah, we can do
Yeah.
that. I guess.
Okay. Why don't you guys make me individual investigation checks in?
Why not perception, man? Oh, okay, it's fine.
I
Well,
can't
that's
tell
why
any
this
of you
is-
humans apart.
You're just so big that you're more focused on trying to duck underneath the markets.
Godric,
yeah,
are you
yeah.
investigating?
Yeah, I'm trying not to run into people and squish anything.
Mm-hmm.
No, I
not
trust
orthodox.
my two members will find them.
Okay.
I'm just checking out the stalls and stuff.
Yeah, you see in the stalls, you see various bits of trinkets, fruits, vegetables. There's a wide array of things. You see some instruments. You see some really nice furniture pieces. You see art, paintings, statues, just anything that you would think. Well, not anything you would think, but there's a large grouping of things around as you kind of walk through. Like I said, half the stalls are closed though, so there's not much out as there normally would be.
Is this due to the siege or
Lucifer,
time of day or?
it's about 2 o'clock. It's afternoon.
So it should normally be more open.
Oh yeah, this
More
wouldn't.
bustly.
You would think this would be more bustly, definitely with the size and with yeah, with the size of this market, this is pretty dead. Sky, Lucifer, and Trudy, you all kind of find Rodgul at the same time. Where Vayu, you're just so taken aback by this type of scenery because this is definitely something new to you. This type of architecture, this type of city layout, and you haven't been around this many humans before. So yeah, they don't. It's your eyes aren't picking up the different characteristics that each individual would have. So the three of you see this man. He's leaning up against a closed shop, kind of up in this corner here. Just kind of sitting there, or just kind of leaning up against something, just looking around, or leaning up against the shop, just looking around.
Do we all see him at the same time, or is there somebody who sees him first?
Lucifer and Trudy, you would see him first. Sky, you would see him a little bit after they would. So as they're approaching him, you would probably notice, oh look, there they are.
Okay.
So we're all like,
Um,
aha.
I
So
cast
we'll kind of approach casually.
I cast light on his feet for a second, and then turn it off.
You see
And
him
I
kind of
kinda
like jump back and look down at his
And
feet.
then I kind of start waving at him.
He kind of gives a very nervous wave at you, very questionable look on, like he's very uneasy of you.
I just begin to just make my way through whatever crowd there is and just kind of approach him. Ah, didn't mean to scare you. I just thought it'd be a little entertaining to see what would happen. Sorry about that.
You lit up my shoes.
Yeah?
Yeah, but it was cool.
It was startling. I didn't know what was going on.
I literally just said I didn't mean to startle you, but
okay. What are you doing
just
here?
trying to get your attention without yelling through the crowd.
What do you want my attention for?
Well, sent from the Brigadier to find you.
Why?
Where's our elephant?
I'm like, I don't know how far away I am, but I'm just kind of like,
Yeah,
I'm sure
I
you
don't
can see me, but I'm like, where'd they go?
We're here to find an amulet.
Oh. So,
Ah.
how many of you are there?
Enough.
5?
Okay, and you have an elephant?
A Loxodon.
Oh, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. When did Loxodon start fighting in the military?
Yesterday. It's been great.
Okay. So you're here to look for the amulet, huh?
That is
just
why
said
we're
that.
here.
Can I do like a perception check while they're talking to see if I can find them in the crowd?
Well, actually, can I see her?
You make me a perception check if you can see her. It's gonna be... no, not high
I hope
enough.
so.
No, you don't see your elephant friend walking, your Loxodon friend walking around. Vayu, you would actually be where the green huts are at,
Okay.
where they're on the complete opposite side. You would probably see Godric sitting by the, kind of walking around that center area by the fires.
Right, yeah.
She would see him or I would?
She would.
Okay. Do I see either of them?
With that, you would see Godric.
I message Godric and say, I found him. Where's the elephant?
What's the range on message? Let's see.
Hey,
if
you.
spell.
Range 120.
Nice.
Yeah, that
Oh, yeah.
it's
That's 18. That's 18 feet, dude.
That's
I
really
can go across the town.
the measurement is not set up on these maps.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah.
I haven't figured out how to do that in depth yet. I would say 120 feet. Yeah, I'd say that's fine to reach Godric.
I wave down Vayu.
Okay. I stump up to the dwarf, trying not to knock things over or run into people.
Apparently they found them already.
Where are they? I could not find them in the crowd.
I look around. Do the
You know, you just get like a random message with no direction.
yeah.
And then-
I realize.
So now do I see
realize.
them both like in the same area?
Like looking for
Wait,
you.
hold on. Let Godric finish. Let Godric
No,
finish.
no, that's good. That's
Okay.
good. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, do I see them now both?
Yeah, you would
That
see
area.
both of them. Yeah.
I'm literally just going to give them just like directions, like left, more left, straight, straight. Just continually messaging them.
Yeah, you could just whistle or something.
I don't want to. I don't want to cause a commotion in a crowd because I don't know how hostile. Like, the city just got taken over last night. I don't want to make too much noise and
Okay.
things
We've
like
got
that.
a giant Loxodon.
Yeah, but I'm pretty.
I've got
It's,
nothing.
exactly. It'll be fine.
Neither does whistling.
I whistle very loudly then.
Well, that was just
That'll
unnecessary.
get my attention.
Yeah. Here's my whistle.
They do not hear you. You.
I pull out my horn and I blow it really fucking loud.
Okay, so through one means or another, you do get their attention. Do you guys want to convene with them, or do you want to wait for them to approach?
What?
I'm gonna
I'm
wait.
gonna walk
Alright.
up to my humans, or my peoples, I should say.
Do you do an elephant
Yeah.
charge through the market?
No, I'm not gonna stampede. That's rude as fuck.
That's racist.
That's right.
That's a technical thing.
That was very nice.
Okay, so anyway, wherever these guys are, then I am now.
Okay.
Somewhere. I have no idea. We're here somewhere.
We're around.
While you're calling for the other group, the other people, Rodgul looks at you. So how many more of you are there?
1, 2.
There's
There's 3 of us here.
There's 3 of you
This
there.
guy, yeah. 2 more.
2 more. Okay, so there's 5. That's good. So, yeah, there's a word that the amulet is hidden in the temple. There's apparently some secret chamber within the temple that houses this amulet.
Aye.
Have I walked up to them yet?
Yeah, you're there.
Okay, cool.
Do we know what the temple is?
Yeah, it's Temple to the Anaki. Every city's got one.
And I still don't know where this one is.
Oh, where is it? Sorry, I misheard you. I thought you said, what is it? The temple is off in the distance, and actually you'd be able to see it now. There is this... It looks like an ancient stone temple, completely different architecture style from anything else in the building, or in the city. It stands pretty high aloft, and definitely with how close the market is, you would see this temple sitting there.
Oh, okay. Then I guess I take back my question.
Yeah.
Is it deep in the temple, or
It is.
you know,
it
first
is.
floor, second floor?
Well, right now there's only a single floor that we know of in the temple. It's believed that there is a hidden chamber beneath it.
Are there many priests or people in the temple right now?
As of right now, no. There's a lot of people who are keeping to their respected homes, not wanting to go out in the streets in fear of the military, in fear of Aldale. If they're not there, then they're trying to escape.
Sounds like a perfect time to check it out.
There are some priests there that do live there full time.
Are
Are
they?
they anything to worry about?
No, they're priests. They're no
pacifists,
paladins.
or-
Oh, they're just priests. They're men of worship, men of the cloth. They give sermons.
Are they going to deny us access from coming in there, or?
Not into the temple, no. No one is denied access to the temple. Now, sniffing around and poking your nose where you shouldn't be might get you noticed.
Aye. Well, I can make a quick plan quickly and say maybe we're here to worship after the battle. Maybe pray for our sins that we may have committed. Maybe we'll snoop around. Maybe somebody get the attention of a couple of them and go from there.
That's good.
How does that sound?
I mean, it's a plan. Doesn't mean it's a good plan, but it's a plan.
And
The
what
priests
would you
aren't gonna...
suggest?
What would I suggest? Talk to the priests, see what they know. There's word that the cardinal, which you would know would be the head priest of this, would be the head priest of the temple. There's always a cardinal at each temple. There's rumor that the cardinal knows of the secret chamber. From the information I've gathered, at least. We do know that the amulet's in that temple. There is a secret room, and the cardinal may have an idea of where it's at.
So obviously we need to find the cardinal.
Mm-hmm.
Speak to him first.
Yeah.
Well,
Do you have any advice for us other than speaking to the cardinal?
Look around. Look for anything unusual. That's what I do. That's how I find my information. Sometimes rumors or inconsistencies turn out to be pretty good leads.
Do you have
Alright.
anything for us, or
No,
should we just
that's
take what we've got?
that's all I've got. That's the only information that I've been able to acquire. I didn't have much time to gather this information. The Brigadier seemed pretty pushy about this.
Alright, well. Let's
Shall
be on
we?
our way then.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes open for the Reichsführer, though. If you find him, we can end a lot of the problems in this city.
Would we have a rough idea of what he looks like, or would we recognize him if we saw him?
No, you wouldn't. You can ask for a description.
That would be helpful. What's he look like?
He's a short, fat man.
Okay, look for a short, fat man. Got it.
He's got
There's one.
I found one. Oh, you son of a bitch.
He's got short, gray hair, long mutton chops. If you notice him, bring him to the closest soldier nearby.
Should we cause a commotion to apprehend him?
If you have to, you have to. But I would recommend, if you notice him, to be cautious, because likely there are supporters nearby.
Aye.
To be sneaky.
Be sneaky.
Noted.
Short, fat man, short, gray hair, mutton chops.
Long mutton chops.
Does he braid them? No.
That would be
Yeah.
weird.
Hey, you never know. I mean, mutton chops in the first place are kind of...
What is a mutton chop? I'm gonna look that up
Wolverine.
in Google Images.
Yeah.
It's just this part of the beard.
It's Wolverine's beard.
No mustache, no chin,
that's
just here.
Right.
Yeah, John.
Ugh.
That was a long time ago.
Sure, that's what they all say.
It was like before
Not
Shella.
long enough, apparently. And still has nightmares.
Actually, it was right after Shella was born. I got a picture of it.
It's like my
somewhere.
mom gave my brother a mole pet when he was 5 or 6, and I'll never let him live.
They're like, you had nothing to do with it, but haha.
Right.
All right, what would you guys like to do from here?
If we're walking to the temple, I'm gonna kind of whisper to the party. I can do an invisibility if that makes things easier. We can look around, or we could just talk to them and see what we can gather, and then maybe try something else. It's up to you.
Don't feel like we need to be stealthy right off the bat.
I think if
Yeah.
we talk to him first and see check the situation,
Yeah.
then possibly sneak around if we have to at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we can at least cause more distractions if we need to.
Right.
Fair enough.
But having sneaky invisible option is great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely handy.
Okay, as you talk and walk through the streets, you approach the bottom of this path leading up into a set of gates. Behind the gates is a very, very large graveyard with several gravestones, mausoleums, things of those nature. This is the resting places of paladins and clerics alike. When a paladin or cleric dies, they are always laid to rest upon the grounds of one of the temples. Gates, as you guys push back the gates and see all these gravestones everywhere, you make your way up and around to this very large stone temple. It almost looks like sandstone. It doesn't look like it matches anything around any other thing around the area. You don't even know where they would have gotten sandstone or sand to make this type of stone here.
Aliens.
It does look very, very, very ancient. There are cracks in the stone, and you see all along there's just beautiful carvings of battles and of different individuals that none of you quite recognize. But there are just these beautiful carvings all over. And as you enter the temple, two very large iron doors, rusted. They're brown at this point. They open up and creak open. And inside the temple is a very large, open, kind of like what you think a cathedral would look like, with pillars up, and all along the outsides there are 13 statues, each one depicting one of the heroes of the vices and the virtues, and there is one at the very front of the temple, and it is the hero of pride standing behind the altar. There are pews lined up inside the temple that could easily fit about 500 to 600 people.
Do we notice any priests right off the bat, or?
Godric and Lucifer, you both would notice that there is one priest sitting in a pew about halfway in, and at the other end there seems to be a priest behind the altar.
Shall we approach them and ask if they know where the cardinal is?
Probably.
Sure. I'll take
Maybe
the one.
only like one of us should, though.
I'll take the one in the pew. And
Maybe we'll hang back and be a little less daunting.
Yeah.
I'll casually walk up and and motion to sit down next to him.
You see the man, he's got his hands, looks up, or he's got his hands down here in a prayer motion, looking down. He looks up at you. No, I do not mind. Take a seat. The
I thought you were
temple
just saying no, like go away. I was like, oh, okay.
No,
That
the
was
temple
quick.
Moving on.
has been empty these last couple days. It is good to see another enter.
He nods and sits down and kind of relaxes his body a little bit. And I don't do this quite enough as I should. I guess, is there somebody I should talk to, or
You don't do what enough?
pray,
Well, none
confess?
of us pray enough. There's no need. There's no confession in this religion. There's no need to do that. If you wish to speak, then speak.
Well,
I will hear, the heroes will hear.
I don't know if there's a different area I'm quite shy in my party. I feel like could listen in, and I kind of want this to be a more private thing if we could arrange that.
Of course, I can lead you back into the chambers.
Please.
Yes. And he
And,
stands up. He stands up and he turns and starts walking past the statues.
I follow him and I whisper to Sky. Gonna go check out a private room, see what I can find out.
Alright, I'll pass it along to the rest of everyone, what you're doing.
Okay. While Lucifer's doing that, anybody want to do anything else?
I'll kind of walk around and look at the different statues, just trying to be, not standing out too much, making a scene.
You said that the hero of pride or whatever is at like the forefront.
Yep.
What's the statue of? Like, what does it look like? What race is it?
It is a. Let me check the. One sec, I believe it is a Loxodon.
I'm walking along with Sky, checking out the different different statues, admiring the stonework.
It is it is a Loxodon.
Oh.
That is the hero of pride. You actually see it is looks to be what you would it's a it's a very large statue. This Loxodon has very long tusks, very large and long tusks that actually he's got one set, and then underneath another set is actually looks like begun to grow.
Oh, wow.
And is about a quarter the length of the other tusks.
Okay.
He is leaning on a cross that is almost as big as he is. It looks to have been his club. Actually, you would know that that was his weapon. His club was this cross-shaped thing, and he's just kind of resting up against it, and there's a smile on his face.
Mm-hmm.
Godric and Sky, why don't you guys make me perception checks while you walk around and look at the statues?
Can I use my stone cutting history check?
Actually, yes, you can.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Oop, that was insight. That's not what I wanted.
And you can roll to everybody if you want, not just me.
Yep. There we go.
Where'd my drink go?
Oh,
Okay. Well,
Tell us all about it.
Godric, as you and Sky kind of tour around and look at the different statues, you see dwarfs, humans, Loxodon, even a halfling. As you guys would know, these are the heroes that people have become to worship. You do notice, Godric, that these statues don't seem to be sitting on the floor where they're supposed to. You can see drag marks that go to each one of these statues. And even the base of the statue doesn't seem to be fitting right on where they're standing. It's almost as if like a different base was supposed to go in the statue's place.
Do the drag marks look recent?
Yeah, they look fairly recent.
Interesting. Compared to like the temple stonework, are these statues like that old limestone? They're just a different set of
They're a
stone.
different set of stone. The bases of each one of these statues are the old limestone, the old sandstone, like the rest of the temple, but the statues themselves are not.
Okay, so they got rid of the alien statues and put our dumb old normal statues on top.
Well, you would
Okay.
know as the new heroes are made canonized, this old statues are torn down and replaced with the new heroes. But the bases of these ones seem to be still the ancient base, the original ancient bases that were there.
Okay.
Anything else? All right.
Not from Godric.
Not from Godric. Trudy? What's Trudy doing? You're muted, hun.
Sorry. I'm just kind of sitting at the pew, listening and checking to see if there's just anything amiss.
Go ahead and make me a perception check.
Nope.
Everything
Everything
seems
seems fine over
yeah,
here.
everything seems fine. You don't notice anything out of the ordinary.
Alright then. I'm just gonna keep walking around,
All right, Lucifer.
pretending I'm busy.
You follow this priest into a chamber past the statues. He actually leads you into a short hall, or he leads you through a set of doors. You can see a long hallway to either side. Right across there is another set of doors. He leads you in. There's about 8 beds set up in this room. This is our chambers that we sleep in. If this is a good private place that we can talk if you need.
That would be lovely. Should I sit on the bed or stand?
That's fine. What is ours is yours. You may sit.
I sit down, and been a lot of hardship in my life, and sometimes I feel like the heroes have forsaken me some days.
Ah, the heroes haven't forsaken us. You know, they're mysterious in their ways. They put us through trials and tribulations to see if we ourselves are worthy to take up their mantle. They seek to find those to replace themselves.
I get it, but some days it just feels like a lot.
Yeah, it's meant to be. There's 14 individuals who have become the heroes that we have known. Out of how many people on this world? It is meant to be hard. If it was easy, then there would be 1 billion heroes that we would be worshipping. Or 1 million heroes we would be worshipping. But yet there was only 14.
True. What brought you to the church?
I was an orphan who was dropped here. This is what I knew. It's all that I know. But I love it.
Did you have a caretaker here?
Oh, yes. The old cardinal was my caretaker. He was like a father to me.
Was?
Oh, he passed away several years ago.
Was there a new cardinal?
There is a new cardinal, yes. He's a nice man.
I was about to say, I don't think I've ever heard of a church without a cardinal.
Oh, no,
I
there
was
was...
scared for a moment that he may have been injured in the attack.
No. No, the church was unspoiled and the graveyard was unspoiled. Though
Right.
the city went under siege, Aldale did keep to their faith and left all of us here untouched.
I'm glad.
Me too.
Do you know if this cardinal is able to talk as well?
He is. He is in his chambers and studying, as he often does, looking to find the right verses, the right worship for this evening. Though not many people would show, as has happened the last 42 days, but, you know, that's what happens during war.
I believe that people get wrapped up in themselves. Sometimes
Yes.
it's hard to be selfless. And
Well-
pray for others when you're scared for yourself.
It depends on who they follow, though. Not all of the heroes believe in selflessness, so we do not look down upon them for not showing. It's not for us to judge who they worship, as long as they worship one of these. Who do you worship?
Would I have like background knowledge on at least like a couple of them?
You would know the basic information. This is pretty well ingrained into society.
And this is Pride.
This is Pride's center in this temple. But it's the 7
I guess,
vices
what
and
are-
virtues.
Like,
I can give you a list. I can tell you what it is.
yeah. Give me a rundown real quick.
Faith, hope, charity, fortitude, justice, temperance, lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, pride.
I'm gonna go with justice.
You worship... I just put that away. You worship the hero of justice, Grogmar. And you would know that he is an orc.
Yeah. I figured from the name, but
Yeah, just so you know.
Yep.
He was a very just man, even for an orc.
Many orcs that I've come across, they almost embody the hero most of the time.
Most of the time, not always.
So do I need to go see the cardinal, or is that something you do?
If you want to wait out back in the temple, I can bring him to you.
That
His
would
study is very private.
Yes. By all means, I will wait where I met you.
All right, I will go and retrieve the cardinal. And he stands up and he motions you towards the door.
Yep. Just real quick, as we were talking, I want to kind of do like a perception of like the rooms and stuff and the hallway and stuff, and
All right, make me a
kinda look around for anything that generally doesn't look like it belongs in a temple.
Yeah, no, you,
Mine.
as you look around, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary at all.
Okay.
Like, this is the best put together temple I have ever been in.
I don't even think there's a speck of dust in a temple. Period.
All right, so he leads you back into the chamber as he disappears back behind the door.
Okay. I kind of cast message to Sky again, and I'm about to have a meeting with the cardinal.
Sky?
And I just kind of wait.
Oh, it's muted. I know that Godric was close to me, so I'm going to let him know, and then to let Bayou and Trudy know as well what's going on. But I'll whisper it to them, quietly to not cause a stir.
He's about to meet the cardinal.
Right.
I just kind of grunt.
Echo it through the temple.
And then I'm also gonna kind of ask if you guys see anything suspicious.
Yeah. Can I actually, can I go... I want to look around at the statues, too, since I'm a pretty religious person back home, and I want to just see if, the statues are kind of true to the ones that I know from back home. Look for any differences that there might be.
Actually, you don't see any differences. They look pretty identical to what you've seen.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing seems out of the ordinary here. Nothing with that sense. If you want to look further, you can make me a perception check.
Oh yeah, might as well try if you can give me one. Eh.
Yeah, okay. With that roll,
Weird.
with that roll, you would know that though the statues themselves are the same, the bases are completely different than what you're normal to see.
In bases, you just mean the things that they're standing.
Yeah,
on?
like the platforms that they're standing on.
Okay, would I notice it of just an architectural difference, or would I be like, huh, it looks like that shouldn't be sitting on that type of
No,
difference?
you notice it's an architectural difference.
Okay.
Though the statues that you've seen in your time, they all have the same bases at every temple you've been to around Alutil.
Interesting.
Or Nippergash. Sorry, it's the country of Nippergash. You would have noticed that it seems to be there's this consistent flavor in everything.
Okay.
But for these bases are different.
Okay. And these statues are at least life-size, right?
They're larger.
if
They're
not a
about
little-
twice
okay,
the
they're much
size. Yeah, twice the size of normal.
So it's not something I can move.
If you want to try to move it, you are more than welcome to.
Are there any other priests in this room? I don't remember what you said.
There was one priest behind the altar, but he seems to be deep into whatever he's reading
Okay.
or looking over.
I mean, yeah, can I guess without making a big show of it, can I see if it's movable?
Yeah. Go ahead and make me a yeah, go ahead and make me a strength check.
Okay. And does my heavy build work into that somehow? I know it's just a strength thing, but it says my push, pull, and drag weight.
Yes, that
should
would
be doubled.
That would be put in. Well, that's just that. So your pushback. Yeah, that just means that the DC that you would have to succeed would be lower if you were able to move it.
Okay. Okay. So it's just strength. Let's just see. Throw. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah. Okay. With that, as you kind of press up against it, actually, the question is, which direction are you pushing the statue?
Yeah, it's I mean, if it's just How far off the ground, like, are they, like, say, the pedestals themselves are, like, several feet tall, and then there's a statue on top of it?
The pedestals themselves are about 4 feet tall. And then the statues themselves are about 10 feet tall.
Yeah, because, God, how would I be able to move that without breaking it? How would you try that?
Are you gonna try to like follow and move it the way the drag marks are? Like where they?
I mean, do I notice the drag mark?
I noticed everybody
Oh, yeah.
convening over here. Because if so, I want to join.
Yeah, you can see that people or at Vayu. Yeah, you can see that they're convening.
Okay.
Okay, I walk over quickly and try to be nonchalant.
With that
about the
perception check, you would have noticed the drag marks.
Drag marks, okay. What are you guys thinking? Should I just, like, put it on the ground? Or, like, was the whole thing dragged together? I'm kind of confused.
Well, you've got the pedestal and the statue. And it's your decision on which direction you want to push it. If you want to try to pull the statue down, you can try to pull the statue down.
Are the two pieces fused together, or is it just sitting on it?
It looks to be that they're... Actually, you... Yeah, with that perception check. It looks to be that the statue is affixed to the base. In some form.
That makes more sense. Okay. Yeah, I'll move it, like, along the line of the drag mark.
Okay.
At least so it's, like, not sitting in the same spot. Maybe see if there's anything underneath it or something.
As you start to push on this statue, you can feel it kind of sliding back on.
Yeah, and I'm, like, kind of doing a little bit and, like, kind of looking at the priest.
The priest is reading.
Okay.
And you notice... Actually, no. Yeah, you push it back.
Push it a couple of feet. Okay, do I notice anything in the spot where it was sitting a moment ago?
Make me an investigation check.
Okay. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Oh, good.
You notice that along the ground there is small channels. There's like a small channel. There's a little lip along there. You do notice that there was a lip around it, and there's a lip where the drag marks are at. That's something you would have noticed, Godric. I just forgot to tell you that. Okay, doke.
I'm gonna look at the rest of the party like, what do with information?
Anybody else want to say anything?
Yeah.
So I kind of wander over there. She's seeing. Do we notice anything else other than that? Like any kind of doorway or like any sign of something different in the floor? Or, you know, any.
Not outside of what I've stated. You do see along the edges there are doorways. You saw the one that Lucifer walked through, and on the opposing side there's a doorway there, and you do notice in the back behind the altar and behind the statue of Pride there is two doorways back there. After a few moments, you do see a man walk in, wearing simple clothes, a simple tunic, simple pair of trousers. He walks in and he looks around and he looks at you, Lucifer. No, go ahead.
I take like one little step away from the thing, like I wasn't just touching that. I'm just standing here looking at it.
He approaches you, Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you wanted to speak with me.
Yes, I did.
What is it?
I don't quite pray that often, and not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing. If that makes sense. Just kind of more or less looking for some pointers, or maybe just to talk to you, kind of figure out my place.
Well, then speak. Let us talk.
I mentioned this to the last priest when I was speaking with him. I'm a little shy. I don't really know if companions are quite religious yet, so I don't want to be outcasted right off the bat.
Well, fine. Let us sit at the front pew.
Kind of nods and I guess the starter questions. I guess what made you into a priest?
What led me into the priest?
Mm-hmm.
I had dreams of being a paladin, but I found it very soon that I was not much for blood, for fighting,
Yes.
for any of that.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do my part in worshipping the heroes. I conceded that I would never be one, and I found myself here. And then the previous cardinal died, and I was voted in.
Okay. I mean, is there any pointers, anything that you can give me? Things to seek guidance on, or what good options, or things along that matter?
You came here to pray and to seek guidance from me?
Yes. Yes.
There's not much more that I have to tell you that the previous priest told you.
I guess is the. I guess I don't know if I don't know if I feel like I'm doing enough for, like how you said, for the heroes. I guess is there anything you need help with that I might be able to do?
Anything that I need help with? I need people to come back to the temple. I need the armies of Aldale to leave. The people are scared. And they don't feel that they can come here for some reason or another. That's what I need. Can you get rid of the armies?
He kind of does like a. I may not be able to get rid of the army, but what I can do is maybe entice people to come.
Well, that would be a start.
And
What is it that you seek?
I guess maybe just. I'm not quite sure yet. Let's put it at that. Let's just leave it open-ended.
Why don't you make me a deception check?
Are you guys talking in the same chamber that we're in, or
Come
did you go
on,
off on
two
your own
ones in a
again?
row.
They're talking in the same very large chamber that you guys are in. While they're talking, is there anything you guys want to do?
Yeah, can I go up to the priest who's reading, actually?
Yeah.
I'd like to go up to him and quietly ask, excuse me, sir?
He's looking at his book and, yes, what is it you need? Not even looking up at you.
Okay, do you know anything about an amulet that may or may not exist in this place?
I don't know of any secret amulet that may or may not exist in this place.
I mean, I didn't say it was secret, but
I was gonna say.
Can I make an insight check?
Of course you can.
What you talking about, Willis?
Hold on. Yeah, you know he's lying.
Okay. Of course, shit.
Time to beat it out of him.
Right? Alright, God, words, guys, help me out. Words. It's like, I got a thing, but how to do.
What to do with Ting?
Yes.
What to do with that
Words.
information? I don't know. That's...
Exactly, I don't know how to phrase it.
Well, I think you can probably just walk away from the conversation knowing that there's definitely a secret amulet somewhere here.
Yeah, that's true.
That he is lying to you about it. So for some reason, it's a secret amulet.
That's true. Yeah, maybe
Let's
I will
poison
step
'em.
away. And I want to turn around and look back at the array of statues. Can I do another perception to see if, like, I guess I feel like if there was an array of statues in a temple, that like maybe they would usually be arrayed in like the same order, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, go ahead.
Each different one would be
Well,
a certain thing.
What
And if that's
when
the
you
case-
what you would know is that depending on the temple you're in, they would be arranged slightly different, because there's usually one hero that's chosen to be
Right.
at the foreground for each temple.
Right, but it would usually follow some sort of pattern. Like
Usually
I guess I want
would.
to see if. Sorry.
Yeah. You may make a perception check to see if you notice anything unusual there.
See if it's like egregiously like out of line with what I've seen before. Oh come on!
It looks
I would-
fine.
I would know
Everything
that.
looks in order. You wouldn't know that, but your perception roll was not very well.
Would that be? Or can I do religion instead?
Actually, yeah, do religion. That would make more sense as to do religion.
Yeah, that might.
Okay, yeah, everything looks. You can't discern if they're out of order or not. Though you've
Yeah.
been in several temples and you've seen these statues
Yeah.
so
It's a
many
different town.
times. It's not just that it's a different town. It's just it's become so normal. You're like, did that hero go there or did he go over
Yeah.
there?
Okay. Okay, so yeah, I guess I just walk away from the priest and go back to my friends, group of 3, and I can be like, "This guy, shit, there's something here." Real quiet, like.
I would like to find a quiet corner,
Okay.
or even go outside or something.
All right.
Somewhere where there aren't other people around.
Yeah, you can head outside and around the corner of the temple where it would be pretty empty, like around. So this will be the entrance here. Actually, let me get the pointer. That would be the entrance. You could skirt around to here where it's kind of empty.
Cool. Alright, I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Detect magic.
And then go back inside.
You don't get any hits or indications of any magical items within the vicinity. Even as, are you going to walk up and down the temple?
And just around each of the statues and down the pews and yada yada.
No, you're not sensing anything magical at all. You made a stone cutting thing, that's history. Yeah. Should have all of that. Yeah, nope, you don't detect anything. You want to do anything else
that's it
there?
for me.
That's it?
Nope.
Sky, Trudy?
Did I see that? So when she moved the stone, did it, or pushed the stone, did it move at all?
Oh, why don't you... It did move. It did move back, yes.
Okay, I want to keep kind of investigating that. 'Cause it seems weird.
Okay, make me an investigation check.
I'm just gonna poke it with a stick.
Yeah, with a 13, it's... You don't notice anything else different than anybody else said with Godric's history check and Vayu's pushing and her perception check.
Do I notice any other like things that have the statues on them, or the specific one for this place?
What do you mean?
Like anything else that has the statues, like the main one here?
Inside the temple? Yeah, you just see it's just the 14 statues, the 13 along the side and then the 14th one up front.
And
Yeah, what's the
front
14th
one's
one again?
Pride, right?
That's Pride. That's Pride that's center focused up there.
Is there anything else that shows like pride on it anywhere?
No.
Like things or other statues or
No,
anything?
it's pretty bare inside here. It's just the pillars, the pews, the altar at the front, and then behind the altar's Pride, and then the other statues are around.
Can I check out the altar
Yeah, you can check out the altar.
or anything? Trapdoors.
Yeah, as you're standing at the altar, it at first glance, or at your glance as you approach, it's a stone altar that is the same style of architecture that's around. So it's that sandstone, that very alien in this landscape type of stone. If you want to look any further, you can make me another investigation check on that altar. Or, yeah. You do notice in this altar, as you're kind of running your hands across it, there feels to be in the center of it a lip. Just a slight little groove that's in there.
Can I sneakily peek without being noticed?
Peek at what?
Whatever the slip is.
It's just like you're running your finger across two pieces of wood that are sanded together, and you notice that there's an indentation there. You can't. It's hard to see with your naked eye, and it's not like you have anything to look into. It's just there's this slight divot that runs down the length of it, or runs down the middle of this altar.
Okay. All right then.
And this altar is a very large altar. It's about a 4 foot by 4 foot stone block.
Wow.
Okay. I guess that's all for now then.
All right, Lucifer.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to talk to the Cardinal about?
I kind of stretch my neck out a little bit and gas message. I kind of ask, kind of whoever is like in the group, or I guess is the most grouped up, Godric and Sky.
Where are you guys? I think, wasn't it Vayu, Sky, Godric pretty close together?
Yeah, I think we were. Yeah, because I whispered something to them, and then Godric went outside to cast a spell.
Oh yeah, so Godric. So it's Vayu and Sky that are next to each other.
I whisper to Sky with a message, and is there anything specific I need to ask before I let him go?
Don't forget about the amulet. Amulet.
Yeah.
Should I ask him directly for the amulet?
I would say you've heard a rumor of, maybe.
Kind of tend to him, and I guess kind of what I'm looking for is maybe there's some sort of magic amulet that makes me feel better. You don't have any of those, do you?
There are
Does it sound
many
like freaking-
magic amulets in the world.
You remind me of Plankton trying to get like the secret
Yeah.
recipe.
Right.
Yeah.
There are many magical amulets in the world. Which one do you look for specifically?
The rumors that you have one.
Rumors are rumors. Doesn't mean we do.
And
The
I,
rumors start somewhere, and I'm just curious.
Well,
Why do you seek an amulet?
Well, it makes me feel better. That's why I seek it.
If you want to make an insight check on him, you're more than welcome to.
For me?
Yeah, you're the one talking to him.
Oh, why do I seek it? Like, what am I trying to insight? I don't.
Never mind then.
Well,
What?
I'm gonna roll it.
No, you missed it. You missed your opportunity because you didn't.
I don't understand the wording because I was like,
yeah.
I said something and then you're like, do you want to insight check that? I'm like, what about myself?
No, not about yourself. Never mind. We'll continue on. Why do you seek an amulet?
Why do I seek? Because if it makes me feel better, then I want the amulet.
It appears that our conversation here is done.
So you have no idea where it is?
I have no idea what you speak of.
That I would like to insight.
Okay, you're more than welcome to
Okay.
insight that.
But now it's gonna be garbage. Okay, it's even better. I'm the greatest.
You know he is lying.
I'm just going to kind of nod my head towards him and head over to my party.
Alright, he gets up and you see him.
I'm going to watch him and see what he does.
You see him walk forward, passing Trudy at the altar, going through the double doors. He opens them, or the doors behind the Statue of Pride, and he opens them, turns and closes them, and you can see him watching you as the doors close.
Hello. And turn to the party, and I'm making sure that my back is facing him. I'm going to whisper to them. He knows what it is. What would we like to do?
Did he seem disgruntled or upset about asking about it?
He seemed done with the conversation,
They
but
both seem evasive.
So he
Yeah,
must
that
know
was-
something about it then.
we
Obviously,
tried to play
it's
it off
a
that
peer
rumors are
development.
rumors, but rumors
Yeah.
start somewhere.
The question is, do we attempt to get their cooperation? Do we subvert them? Remove them from the situation? It is
Do you
hard
think
to
we
say.
should
I think we
leave
should.
and then cast that invisibility and try to snoop around a little?
I think so.
what might be good.
Yeah, since they
I
seem
told
so...
him I might try and entice some people to come back.
So maybe
Maybe
we
if
can
I
find
do
some
that.
followers.
Maybe if I do that, and he has a big ceremony, he will be distracted. We can go
I
through his
believe
room.
that will take more than 3 days, though, wouldn't you think?
Let's see what kind of crowd I can bring. And go
I
from
mean,
there.
we can give it a shot, and if it seems to take too long, we can go another
We
route.
do have 3 days, and we can always say that we need more time.
Mm-hmm.
Are there in general like folk songs of like the heroes and stuff that
Yeah, there
as
would
a
be.
bard I would know in
Yeah,
general?
Ooh, that's a good idea.
So essentially, I think kind of what my plan is, and I'm telling the party, is that I'm gonna kind of play some folk songs and kind of try and like raise everybody's spirits up, and then kind of try and direct them to the church.
Yeah, almost like a hymn type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Something familiar to
Right.
everyone.
Yeah, and like especially in yeah, and then like try and filter them to go into the church.
Alright, where would you like to do this at?
We kind of walk through the center of town. I know I don't necessarily want to do it at the gate, but what is the busiest place besides the gate? Is that still the market?
It's
or-
it still would be the market. It's pretty dead for that market, but it still had the most crowd of people that you saw walking through.
Mhm.
Right, and they didn't seem like to cause any problem.
No.
Yeah, then I'll go down to the market and say, let's get to playing.
I can come with you, I can play the flute.
Ooh, we're always loving a company.
All right.
Quite familiar with the hymns.
So now with this, you can either make separate performance checks, or one of you can make performance with advantage.
Do you
If
have
this is
the
the plan that
charisma,
you're
Tyler?
I
going
have a
this.
+6 in performance.
Then yes, you're gonna do it and I'm gonna help.
Okay.
All right.
Good plan.
So is everybody else staying at the temple, or is everybody going down to see this display?
I want to go and see how they do performing, and then I want to go from there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow
And then
I'm
we do
staying
that,
at the temple.
You're staying at the temple.
I'm gonna like open up my little wooden box and I'm gonna hand like a small piece of incense to Sky and be like, if you notice people starting to come towards the temple, you should light this and lead them the way. The scent is very calming. It's good. We use this often in the temples in the cities of Loxodon.
Alright, I'll do my best to.
Encourage the mood.
Yeah.
It's fancy schmancy incense, so don't waste it.
I will only use it if necessary.
All right, Lucifer, you're ready to make your performance check with advantage?
Yep.
All right. So as
I mean that's a good advantage roll.
It's
Yeah.
a real
Was it?
deal sneak black.
I rolled the 2 or
oh, yeah, that is a good advantage roll. So you begin to play this tune, and
with
you
my magical instrument.
yes. What would you like that to do?
Kind of like the heroes of the legends and stuff. Kind of going through them all one by one, kind of talking about their lore and stuff like that. And
Right.
kind of playing tunes and trying to make a spectacle.
Okay. You several people begin to gather around you and watch this performance happening. You see lots of oohs and ahs. You even see a small child smiling and like looking up at this smoke that is creating this beautiful scene as you play this song. You got Vayu with her flute in the background as you sing and you play along. And the heroes, as you sing, will be doing what you're describing. You know, as the song progresses and tells their story, they're performing their story, and yeah, most of the market has begun to wander towards you.
And then kind of once there's a brief pause and kind of like the performance, or I need a break. Essentially, I'm going to be like, do not forget, you still have the heroes. Please, let us praise to your gods, especially in these hard times. I know things are rough, but it doesn't hurt to pray. And the heroes are always watching. And I kind of do that, and then I kind of do that in between each one.
Make me a persuasion check on top of it.
Is that
With
still
advantage.
that?
Yeah, make it with advantage with this performance.
Holy shit.
Oh God, Tyler.
They start
How does this
running
how does this feel? How does this feel being able to do this?
My other character has a -3.
Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot.
Anything charisma.
Most of the crowd seems to kind of nod at this. They kind of talk amongst themselves and they nod, and you see a couple actually walk off into the direction of the temple.
And I'll be doing this for a while, essentially until he roughly would be doing like his sermon or his speech, whatever they call it.
Okay. If
Can I
that's
go down to like the gate at the edge of where everybody's standing and be like, gosh, did you hear about the performance that's going on down at the marketplace?
You're going down to the gate where the crowd's at? Like the angry mob?
Well, just like the edge of it. It's
Okay.
not as
Like
aggressive.
they're not necessarily angry, but they're grumpy. You're
Okay.
trying to get the grumpy
Yeah.
people.
Make
Yeah,
me
at the edge
make
of the
me a
crowd.
persuasion check there, Trudy. Let's see if you can convince some people to go and check out this. You
What
don't
is
get
it,
advantage.
persuasion?
Yeah, you don't get advantage on this.
I didn't say I was.
So you see this disgruntled crowd that's still very angry, and they're still pushing, and they're still yelling, and they're still shouting, and the soldiers are still trying to control this, even though you've been here for quite some time. None of them seem to take note of what you're saying.
They're lost.
So as Godric, as this is going on, is there anything you would like to be doing?
Yes. Have I noticed any pests in the temple? Cats, mice, scorpions.
Make me a perception check. I can tell you. You do notice a few pests. You see some smaller centipedes that scurry in and out of the shadows trying to find a place to hide. You see a couple spiders, webs at the tops by the pillars. That's
Okay, okay. Okay, yeah. want to wild shape into a spider.
Okay. You wild shape into a spider.
And
What does it look
I'm
like when
going-
you wild shape?
No, I'm not Goliath. I just kind of turn into a ditto blob. And then extend out into whatever shape I'm transforming into.
All right.
In this case, a very small spider. And yeah, I'm going to try to move through cracks in the walls and whatnot to follow the cardinal wherever he ran off to.
Okay. You scurry along. You go through the door that he went through in the back. Did you want to do this as soon as the party had left to go do the performance?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, I was pretty much just once everyone had stepped out, I was going for it.
Okay, so you scurry along the floor. You go through the door.
No, not across the floor.
No, okay. Up the wall.
Up the wall, yes.
You scurry across and you go. You find yourself at the door that you saw him exit through. Would you like to sneak through or squeeze through the crack between the door and get into the room? Okay. So you squeeze your way through there and you enter a smaller chamber. There appears to be a lot of bookshelves with books all over the place, with
Books.
studies
Scary.
and desks and places where you can see where the priests do their studies. This is where they do a majority of their work, is back in this area. You do see the cardinal talking quietly with another priest.
Do I hear anything of what he says?
If you move, you move closer to here. Why don't you make me a stealth check? With advantage, because you're a tiny spider. Yeah, that's fine.
19? Or, no, it's not right. 12?
12? Yeah, that's still fine. You're a very tiny spider. As you approach, it appears that the cardinal's in mid-sentence. And in the middle of the sentence, you hear him say, "Yes, the amulet." They're asking questions about it. Well, who let the beans spill? We're not supposed to tell anybody about this amulet. Only the priests are supposed to know about it. The cardinal speaks again. I don't know who would have said anything. All we know is we gotta make sure to keep it safe and keep it hidden. After the sermon tonight, we will need to send someone down there to keep watch. And you see the other priest. You see the priest that the cardinal's talking to kind of looks shaken by that statement. He doesn't like the idea of sending someone down there, and he looks at the cardinal. As long as it's not me, I can't go down there. The cardinal nods. It won't be you. It'll be another. But we have to make sure that the amulet is still safe and is still down there. The priest nods and turns and walks away. The cardinal kind of stands there and looks back and forth and approaches a desk and sits at the desk. And with that, we will end tonight's session.
Nerd.
It's almost our ending time, and that was a good spot to end it at.
Okie dokie.
So while everybody's here, I know we've been playing Wednesdays, but if everybody's okay with it, Saturdays did open up.
Or Fridays, even.
Probably not Fridays because you've got your bi-weekly game on Friday.
Oh yeah, we do. I forgot.
Brittany and I were kind of looking forward to maybe doing stuff on the weekends.
Yeah.
Okay.
She generally has that off. I can talk to her and I can get back to you on kind of what would be a good day for me.
No, I was just checking. Wednesdays is still a good day. A good gay. It's a very good gay.
Yep.
Good game.
Gay.
But
Yay.
We're gay.
it was just an option that had come up.
Is there any day of the week for anyone else where we could play just earlier in the day? Because staying up
I'm
till
gonna
midnight
end
for
this
me and
stream
getting
now.
up